to go ahead and jump right into it, this is the weekly technicals video for the first week of June. And we're going to be starting off with the dollar index. So let's go ahead, and since it is a new month, new week, all that stuff, we're going to start from a monthly chart and we're going to work our way down from there. So far, we've made this lower high. I don't think that it's going to go just automatically lower from here. I think we're going to get some continuation above this high here before we do get a sell-off. And the reason that I do think that is because if you notice right above those highs right there, and notice that's 2 months of highs that are the same. So on a lower time frame chart, these are going to be equal highs, right? And we already know what equal highs these are. This is the equal highs on the daily chart coming in around 95.15, 95.20 level. So if we look, we see that we have this old ICT bullish order block here. And if you guys remember, I sent you the picture showing watch when order blocks trade through and how they'll act as like a pivot point. Either a old support becomes resistance or old resistance becomes support. And in this case, it was support because it's an ICT bullish order block. Once this candle broke it, this candle retests it and then trades higher. Once this candle here breaks through it, notice one retest right here, which acts as resistance. And then right here as well, since there is stop orders built up above here, I think they're going to want to run this out and push into this ICT old bullish order block here. And that would clear out these stops as well as hit this resistance and give them an opportunity to sell off from there. So if we are going lower, I'd like to see them come up and trade into this level first. Now, if we do break above this high here, we're more than likely going to go higher into this ICT bearish order block here. So in terms of the weekly perspective, I'm still expecting higher prices on dollar index. Monthly perspective, I think I just said weekly. Okay, so on the weekly now, we already know that we're reacting off of this ICT bullish order block here. And again, we got the equal highs. So this is what we're looking at. Now you can see that we have an ICT bearish order block that rests right here. The low comes in at 95.62. So that is right above these equal highs, which is pretty much within that breaker on the monthly as well. Whether you want to call it a breaker or ICT pivot, ICT order block, whatever, all the same stuff. But in terms of what I'm looking for, I'd like to see this high cleared out into this ICT bearish order block. That would be a lot more higher probability versus them making a lower high here and then just selling off. But we will keep an eye out and see if this does form a lower high. Like for example, let's say Sunday and Monday close bearish and the market looks like really weak and it's going to want to trade lower. Then we'll look for sells in dollar index. But at the moment, I'm only looking for longs in dollar index and supporting short positions in foreign currency until I get a further confirmation that I should short dollar index. Now, if you go to a daily time frame, I've been mentioning this ICT bullish order block here. And I said if we close below this, we're likely going to want to go lower and make a further retracement, potentially into these levels here, 93 big figure. Down into about 92.80. So that is a potential objective for the downside if we do break below this ICT bullish order block right here. Now, if we do not, then again, we're just going higher above these equal highs. So personally, I think that we traded into this level here, got a bunch of people short off this movement. But if you look closely, you can see that the body of the candle here respected the high and the open of this ICT bullish order block. And then we got a little bit of support here. So I think we're going to trade higher early on in the week since we've already hit the higher time frame level. So I think Sunday and Monday we could just instantly start pushing higher with dollar index. Again, I'm not going to trade Sunday or Monday unless there's a setup there on Monday. Typically, I like to wait till Tuesday. You guys all know that by now. But that's ideally when I'd like to trade. All right, so let's move to a 4-hour time frame. Now, on a 4-hour time frame, this is looking a little bearish to me, just simply based off of this pattern that I'm seeing here, this down move, this push up, this breakdown. The market pushes up, retests it. That's why, again, I like to wait for that Sunday, Monday price action to unfold, because it won't be right here, right? It'll either be below here or above here, which will give me more information in terms of what I need to look for going into the week. But so many people will try to just enter based off of what they, on Sunday, as soon as the market opens, because they want to trade. But you're really, making a mistake by doing that, because, you're not giving price enough time to unfold. So make sure you're doing that. We still are respecting bullish market structure, though. We haven't broken below this low. We did break below this low here, but that just could be a stop run. No real worries about the break below here, because it was just a wick. If you look at the bodies of the candles, all the bodies are pretty much respecting that same level. Okay, so just really quickly, I'm going to mark out this high, because this is the next upside objective I'm expecting for dollar index. So that's 94.45. And then after that, I'm expecting this low, which is, this is the ICT bearish order block here. That's why I'm expecting this level. So we got 94.73 for this. Change them both to red because they're resistance levels. All right. All right, cool. So we're good with dollar index, expecting higher prices overall. Now let's go ahead and we'll take a look at euro dollar. We came below this low and then we did reject. So since we rejected here, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm short yet, because if you guys remember these scenarios that I drew out, I said we could either retest the structure and then sell off, or we could push up, retest the ICT bearish order block and sell off from there. So notice where the dollar index is right now. We just went over it and we know that the dollar index is in a daily ICT bullish order block. Now, if we look at euro dollar, it's the exact inverse of that. The market is in an ICT bearish order block. So what do we expect? We would expect weakness from there. Everything with this move is just the inverse of what's in dollar index. So if we see continued prices higher on dollar index, we should see continued weakness on euro dollar, especially after coming off of a higher time frame resistance level, and for dollar index coming off of a higher time frame support level. So again, I mean, that would be retesting these equal lows here, which is structure. So I just think this could be another level of selling on euro dollar. So in terms of stop, if you are trading off of the daily time frame, I'd place my stop loss above this high here. First target would be below here. Now, again, that's if you're going to be trading off of the daily time frame, which if you're going to do that, I'd recommend that you're holding the position for at least 2 to 3 days. Again, on the 4-hour time frame, we are respecting bearish structure, just like we're respecting bullish structure in the dollar index. The only thing that I don't like trying to sell it so early in the week, which is fine, because again, we do wait for that further confirmation. But for anybody that is thinking about opening up a trade or something as soon as the market opens, again, I don't recommend that. But I mean, if you do, I can't stop you. Just make sure that in order for this to go lower, I'd like to see a clean movement below this low here. I don't like this wick and then the push up, because that kind of shows me that it's respecting this ICT bullish order block as support. And that doesn't technically mean anything, because we are within this and this. So we could just very well consolidate and trade sideways. So again, I'm not super concerned, that we did form this wick and it's going to just start going higher from here. But if we do start breaking structure, if we start making a higher high or something, then we need to consider possibly switching our bias to long euro dollar and short dollar index. I want you guys to understand, this is why I don't automatically go long, pretty much based off of just a rejection. Like, yes, a reversal could be forming at this level, because it is a key level, You know, it has taken out daily stops. It could very well continue higher from here. But with dollar index respecting support so far, I don't want to go against that. So anytime I've tried to go against the market, like by not actually doing what the market is telling me. Like, for example, you can always see what the market is telling you because all you have to do is just look at what the candlesticks are doing, right? You know, we had a break of structure, we retested a bearish order block, break of structure, retested a bearish order block. We're bearish price action is unfolding so far, and it's the opposite of this side. So, I mean, it's pretty much like, you know, a mirror image. If you draw a line in between, you can see that on this side, the market's making higher highs, higher lows, respecting ICT bullish order blocks the whole way up. Then the market finds a topping point here, which is at a resistance level. Then this other side of the market, we've got a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And you can see bearish order blocks are being respected the whole way down on this side. But notice it's what the market does is just taking out every level of stops on the other side of the market, right? So when you can start to see this unfolding, you pretty much know what to do because you know the market's been pushing up. It's traded into a key resistance level. Then you see the market form a lower high right here. All right, so you may not have entered yet. You wait for the market to break structure, which it does on this candle. Maybe you didn't enter on this candle here. No worries. You can wait for the market to continue breaking lower. We break below this low here. You can get in on either this push up or you can get in on this push up, retest in structure around the 1.195 to 1.20 level and shorted it there for a potential swing trade. And if you would have placed your stop loss would have been above this level here because for the setup that you're using, you're just trading off of these three candles, which is an ICT bullish order block. Once it's broken through, should act as resistance. It does, sells off. Yep, exactly, Arnold, completing the selling profile. So the market has, you know, the buy side and then the sell side. And then whatever happened on the buy side, if the market is showing weakness, then you would just expect the market to, you know, complete the sell side of what it did on the buy side, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's pretty much identical, right? Like you could see there's push up, consolidation. Then the inverse, there's consolidation, push down. I mean, it is literally the exact opposite. So just watch out for that stuff in your trading because it will definitely assist in being able to see the setups and the things that you're going to be looking for as potential targets or even entry points like this here. Notice we didn't need to get in up here because we could have waited for the market to break through, confirm that it's going lower by break of structure, retest, acts as resistance, sell off. Stop loss could have even been above this high versus above here for a tighter stop. So if you would have gotten in on this candle, my stop loss would have been above here. But if I would have already had this candle formed and then this trade lower, I would have gotten in on this candle here. Stop loss would have been above this high. Notice we had a wick, but we didn't quite take us out and then sold off from there. So that was a good potential short opportunity and just something that I wanted to mention to you guys. So we could very well get that same thing unfold on this side. So imagine that none of this over here is even here. Imagine none of this exists and all we have is this down movement. If the market decides to reverse and start going higher, we're going to expect each swing high to be our target, ultimately going back above here. All right, so that's, you could just kind of like break the market up whenever you see a reversal forming or something like that. And I know a reversal is forming whenever we break structure. So like right here, you can see that we just pushed up into a bearish order block. If we break above this high, I know we've broken structure. At that point, I know there's likely a reversal unfolding and I can be targeting each swing high. And that's typically how I catch those, 50 to 100 pip moves or whatever. So let's move to 4 hour and see if there is anything on here for us that I want to talk about. So see, I'm not sure if you guys seen this, but this is just an example that I had outlined. This low here Once it was broken, the retest would have been your entry opportunity. Go short, stop loss above here or above here. They're relatively in the same place. And then target would be below this low here. Boom. Okay. So just, I'm always looking for this. Break a structure, retest, sell. So I'm not looking to get in up here because if you notice, the retest is just as much movement. Like if we map out this movement to here, that's 66 pips. Now, if we map out the movement from here to here, that's 59 pips. So yeah, we missed out on a whole nother 60 pips, but we've been able to dial our risk back tremendously. If we're entering up here, our stop loss has to be super high. So yeah, just keep in mind that, you always want to wait for the confirmation, then the retest, then go short or then go long. I mean, you could see that this is really consolidating. Honestly, I thought for NFP that we'd get a lot more movement, but we really didn't get anything. It was just a bunch of wicks. So yeah, I don't see anything that we should be watching out for that's super clear on Eurodollar right now. As far as cable, we are back within this daily ICT bearish order block that we mentioned in last week's technicals. If you look on a monthly chart, guys, you can see that we have this ICT bearish order block here. And as soon as we traded up into that, we found some resistance, poked into it one more time, then again, and then we've sold off. I'm actually thinking that this may continue lower, regardless even of what dollar index does. But in order to confirm that, I mean, I really would need a break below this low here and on a monthly perspective. So, I mean, again, this is, a monthly time frame. So we're talking about hundreds of pips here. But in terms of, what I'm looking for on the near term, I'm still going to be looking for weakness since I'm looking for strength in dollar index. But since we have had this movement, we could get a push up into this ICT bearish order block before we continue selling off. So I'm just going to be watching that. I'm going to actually go ahead and mark that out. All right, cool. So that is a potential level that I will be looking for shorts at if we do get the movement up in there. That'd be a nice swing trade short since we are basing it off of monthly. Now, again, same thing as Eurodollar, we have taken out key stops, so we could see a little bit of a retracement here, which would indicate to me, this retracement up into this level here, just retesting structure, isn't a bad idea. So we can even get in on a potential long. If I see the setup on an hourly time frame, we can even long this into this level here, and then even short it once that level gets hit. So make pips both ways. All higher time frame perspective though, guys. So make sure that, if you're waiting for that stuff to unfold, it's going to take a lot of time. This is why I operate off of a daily mainly, but I like to check the higher time frames to see, when we just started June, so I want to check the monthly and see what's been going on, where are we at, what should I be looking at going forward. Now, in terms of cable, I do want to see this ICT bearish order block hold if we're going to continue lower. If we do push higher and this breaks, then we're likely going to want to go higher and trade back up into the 36 big figure level, clearing out these highs back here. So that's going to be my next upside and downside targets. Now, if we do hold this ICT bearish order block, I think we're for sure going below here. This is going to be my next objective here. We got these relatively equal lows around the 1.3027 level, so 1.3030. Would be my next longer term day trading target. Yeah, so you guys can see that's 320 pips. Say we, the short setup sets up for us, we can short this with our stop loss above this bearish order block and potentially get this full move here, because this could very well happen either this week or over the next couple weeks. So, I mean, you guys can see what that would be. Potentially 84 pip risk for about 300 to 400 pip move. So that may be something that we look into. Of course, I'm going to be watching cable. I watch it every day, but we have broken above these 4-hour highs. So I need a little bit of a breakdown, and then I'll get in on a lower time frame. So just like as an example of something I'd like to see, so you guys kind of get an idea, I would like to see this like, break below these down candles at the very minimum. Preferably a break below this low would be best. Retest these down candles here. That would indicate that this is a stop run pushing above all these highs into this ICT bearish order block, which also overlays with a daily one. And then if I do get this break lower, I look for the retest of that level here, which is old support now becoming resistance, and then look for a continued sell-off from there, targeting each swing low. So this will be the first target, second, third, and then so forth. So that is going to be what I'm looking at on cable. Now, the last pair I'm going to go over is, we'll talk about Euro GBP because we did have a little bit of price action in here, but I just want to show you guys, like, look at this. This consolidation is so heavy. You can see that pushes up, immediately pushes back down. So I don't think this is going to have too much determination on what Euro and cable do. Once we do break out of this consolidation, it's a different story. But in the meantime, I think dollar index is the one that we need to be focused on. Whatever that does, the opposite should unfold in Euro and GBP. Euro GBP, I honestly haven't been watching too much the past couple weeks just because it's been so consolidating. Like, just it hasn't done anything. I mean, this is ugly. Not something I want to be in. So again, I only use it to like tell me what Euro or what GBP is going to do, which one's going to be stronger versus weaker. And yeah, exactly, Michael. There's no I don't know how people are trading this. I mean, the only logical thing that I can see would be like turtle soups on here, like that pattern that ICT teaches, run out old sell or buy stops and then reverse. That's all I see unfolding in this pair. So like, I mean, I can mark out a ton of examples that I'm looking at right now. Market has a low, trades below the low, rejects, trades higher. Market has a low, trades below, rejects, trades higher. It's like this, whenever the market's in a consolidation, it's like a turtle soup is like the best trade to do. And you guys can see it. Like that's why I'm showing you this as well. Like I'm learning as well as teaching you guys. Like you could see, if the market's in consolidation, maybe something you should be looking for is to just clear out the liquidity and then reverse. So here, got a low, market trades below it, takes it out, trades higher. And then again, one last time, we've got this low here, market takes it out, trades higher. So, this pair, it's honestly like if you were trading this in the consolidation, I would legitimately just wait for the market to come back below this low, buy it, put my stop loss below here and target this high, because that's the price action that we've seen in this. So yeah, I don't personally trade this at all. And I wouldn't really recommend trading it, especially if you're in the U.S., just because it is an exotic and it's best to trade the currencies with the dollar index. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, just from analyzing this for a quick second, like, you guys can see that, we've seen the turtle soup setup happen multiple times. So that could be something that you guys look for in terms of, if this is a pattern that you trade or something like that. I have no idea, but maybe, for example, here we got the high, then we take out the high, then we reject. I mean, in terms of how high these rejections usually are, that one's 10 pips. Seems like they're usually about 10 to 20 pips or so for rejection. So yeah, Arnold, I mean, if you're trading this, bro, use a 20 to 30 pip stop, just to be safe. Put it underneath the most recent swing high or swing low that you're trading off of. And yeah, you should be okay. I mean, each rejection is about 10 to 20 pips. But I mean, again, just, when the market's consolidating like this, I don't like to trade it. I want like a clear confirmation. Give me a breakout and then I'll trade it. It just makes it so much easier to see. But when it's consolidating, there's so much messy price action that, like, look at the market, right? We've pushed up, we've taken out this high here, and then we've just consolidated in here for months, like since September 2017. But this is also a consolidation that it was already previously in here. So it's just like it's retesting another consolidation. So consolidation there, little consolidation here, massive consolidation here. So like you guys can see, these levels are all pretty similar. Like it's working off of this like 88.80 level, right? And it's consolidating, consolidating, consolidating. So until I have like a clear movement like this, so whether that be like below here or whether that be above here, that indicates to me, if it goes below here, that indicates that cable, so GBP is stronger than euro because there's weaker prices. So that means euro is weak, cable strong. If the market pushes up, euro strong, cable's weak, and then we can react to our majors based off of that. So again, I mean, I really don't recommend trading this unless you have a breakout, but if you feel like you need to, then maybe that turtle soup setup is something that you can do on an intraday time frame. Okay, so that's it for Euro GBP. Just wanted to mention that I'm not really going to be focused on that too much since it is consolidating so much. The last pair I'm going to go over is dollar CAD because we did take a few losses, well, 2 losses on this before last week's close. So that was unfortunate, but it is what it is, part of trading. There's really no fixing that other than using proper risk management and mitigating the loss, in the next couple trading days or weeks. So looking at dollar CAD, we are within this ICT bearish order block here on a monthly basis. So, I mean, I've been expecting weakness on this for a while now. It's just hard with that dollar strength. So, I mean, to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm probably going to be sitting away from this pair. I just prefer trading cable so much more in terms of setups. And now that we've got NFP out the way and all that stuff, I think there's going to be so much better opportunity in Euro and GBP this week. And me personally, I'd rather trade those pairs. I like trading dollar CAD for New York session and stuff like that. But if you can get in on a nice move in Euro or GBP, you can basically make 100 pips, in the day for the daily range if you get the right entry. So I just prefer that because whenever I'm trying to trade dollar CAD, it seems to always has like a deeper stop run. So and it's really just due to me not studying it as much as I've studied GBP or Euro. Those are just the two that I've like really spent time like actually learning, which every pair pretty much reacts off the same concepts. Like you're still going to be using the same stuff, like still going to use your fibs the same way and your ICT bullish and bearish order blocks and your support resistance, all that stuff. But each pair moves a little differently. So like dollar CAD may get a lot of volatility around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, something like that. So, those are things that you have to learn over time by just seeing it in the charts and, writing it down to where you actually remember. So, just keep that in mind. Whatever pair you're trading, make sure that you really study that pair and actually learn what it does, what time it moves, all that stuff. So for dollar CAD, I am expecting, just overall higher prices since we are bullish dollar index. But if you look at this, it's pretty much like Euro GBP now. We're just in a consolidation. Really, this big massive consolidation is what we're in, but we're holding this range here mainly. See, we got resistance. This is just a trade above it. Resistance, resistance. So the market could very well trade lower from here back within this consolidation. But again, I don't like, there's no point in me participating in this because the market's not really trending yet. I don't have like a nice trending, yes, it's trending up, but it's not really like showing me any clear confirmation like that. These highs aren't making new highs. So it's hard to act off of that. And just look at it off of a euro. Off of a 4-hour time frame. You could see the market broke down, retested. Now it looks like it might want to go lower after hitting the ICT bearish order block. So it's just a really messy pair right now. I would stay away from it as well. Just ideally try to focus on the ones that are clear. And the ones that are clear to me right now are euro and cable. So euro and GBP. Now for dollar CAD, this is all, really up to you guys, but it could be a potential little like scalp short-term trade at the beginning of the week. You can look for a short into this old level of structure at around 1.29, catch about 50 pips or so. So I just wanted to point this out because this is something that I do like, every now and then. Like, say I took a loss or something, and I just want to like try to make it back quickly. It's not the right mindset to try to make your loss back the same day that you lost it. But if there is a setup there, it's definitely possible. But with this 56 pips, this would pretty much make up the 42 pip loss I had on dollar CAD. So, that would be a potential trade that I would take or something like that. But again, I mean, you guys know me. Like, the confirmation is really how you succeed at this business. So if I get a break below here, a retest of that, give me, at least 30 to 40 pips on this, which will make back a good portion of that loss. So that's pretty much like how I'd be looking for it and how I look at it, as the markets are trading, which you guys will see a little bit more of that this week too, because I'm going to do a live trading session in the Facebook group. But yeah, that's pretty much it for dollar CAD. I mean, the main focus is going to be euro and GBP. Primarily, we're going to be looking for shorts early on in the week, but if dollar index shows some significant weakness, then we could get a reversal unfolding in euro and GBP. And with that being said, then we could look for potential swing trades on both of those and catch some pretty massive pips. So that's it for the weekly technicals video, guys, and we'll go ahead and we'll move into the Q&A portion now.
After this track, I might need me some lozenges. I ain't about to go soft. This rapping shit lately been pissing me off. Guess these words are kinda just at the tip of my tongue, but I'm still young and I hope I find the rhymes that'll live through time before that fat lady has sung. Cause when I'm inside this booth, feels like I rule the world. But I'll hop off my horse, hop in your Porsche, give it